Today, you're going to learn how to read wine labels and be able to tell the quality of the wine just by looking at it. Easiest way to tell good quality wine is to check the label and what's on it, especially the grape variety and where it's from. I see it says Nickel and Nickel, obviously the name of the vineyard. CC Ranch is where it's from. 2018 is the vintage. Napa Valley, Rutherford. That's the more generic region that you will get. A lot of the wines from Napa Valley will only label Napa Valley, but I'm glad they put more specific part of Napa Valley. And obviously the grape variety, Cabernet Sauvignon. To be honest, I don't really read the back of it unless I'm really interested in the wine just by looking at the front of it. Depending on the vineyard, depending on the winery, there is a usually percentage of grape varietal labeled. So for this particular wine, it says 100% varietal. So this means this is 100% Cabernet Sauvignon wine. So Nickel and Nickel is a great example of a good label. It has name of the winery, name of the vineyard it's from, the vintage, the region, and the grape variety. That is all you need to know when you're buying wine. And then especially on the back, when it says 100% grape variety, whether it's Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, whatever you're drinking, 100% usually means better quality. Not always, usually. The second wine. When I first glanced at Gallo, it says Gallo Signature Series with the winemaker's name Napa Valley Cabernet Sauvignon in 2016. Now, this alone at first worried me because they were missing the sub-region of the Napa Valley, but when I look at the side here, it says varietal makeup, estate Cabernet Sauvignon, and then barrel produced. So it's 94% Cab, 6% Cabernet Franc, which is very, very normal Bordeaux variety blend, and 67% is from William Hill Estate, 27% from Cypress Ranch, and 6% from Monte Rosso. So you know exactly where the grape is from, and that is what you want to see on a high quality wine. So just by looking at it, these two, Nickel and Gallo, are considered very high quality, at least for me. You should be expecting a high level of expectation for these two wines. Now, we're gonna go for Old World, Bordeaux specifically, and then kind of look. I'm gonna start with this one first. Chateau Seurat, Morgot, 2018. A very simple. Only thing I see is their vineyard, obviously, where it's from, and the vintage. I don't see any grape variety, so I'm gonna turn it back and hopefully it's there. And it's not by in numbers, unfortunately, but they do say it's a blend of Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, and Petit Verdot, which is a very classic blend of Bordeaux varieties. A little unfortunate that they didn't put a percentage. I'm pretty sure you can find their percentage if you go to their website. If they don't, that's when I might be questioning about the quality of the wine, but if they do, it's okay. They can put so much on the wine bottle. So as a conclusion, I will consider this about medium high quality. And then now if you go to this particular wine, it says Chateau La Rosée de Vitrac. I'm pretty sure I'm butchering those words. It says product of France, Bordeaux, 2018. It looks like it's a region from Saussac, and that's about it. And then on the back, there's nothing about it exception of the warning signs for the government and regulation purposes. So not much about the wine, unfortunately. So this is where the quality of the wine will fall a little bit, and I'll say this is about medium to medium low on the quality of the wine just by looking at the label. I'm gonna choose a wine we blind tasted last week, Barefoot. It says Barefoot Cabernet Sauvignon, and on the back it says California, and I don't see any vintage, I don't see any year. So I will consider this low at most in terms of quality. Rule of thumb is this. You're supposed to see the vintage, where it's from, and the grape variety. Out of those three, the last two is the most important factor. You're supposed to know what kind of grape variety is and what's the percentage of those wines. They just put red blend or blend with no designation of certain grape variety. That means there's all kinds of different grape varieties, and depending on a region, they have a regulations. If I remember correctly, California requires at least 75% of the grape variety to be considered Cabernet Sauvignon, Pinot Noir, or whatever they decide to put on the label. So if they don't have 75% of a particular grape variety, it will just say red blend. But if they do, it will likely have whatever the grape variety they used. The more specific they are to the grape variety, especially percentage, the higher the quality it usually becomes. And then it becomes about the region. If you were to buy a wine from the United States, the first thing you're gonna see is the big mass, like a state, Washington, or it's from California, and then it's gonna trickle down to county and a sub-region of it. So like Sonoma County, Paso Robles, Napa Valley, Alexander Valley, so on and so forth. And the more specific they are to that region, the higher the quality goes. If they were to put Napa Valley and Oakville, that's usually a good high quality wine. If they just put Napa Valley, they might have sourced the grapes from different vineyards across the Napa Valley. That's usually what it means. But if they put Oakville or a particular vineyard like Nickel and Nickel did, that's a very, very good sign and very, very high quality wine. As conclusion, if a winery wants to share more about their wine, that's usually a very high quality wine. Unless they're very famous, well-known vineyard with like a one slap label with just their name. Unless that's a thing, more detail it goes, the better the wine usually becomes. And that's my rule of thumb. And follow that rule when you're buying the wine next time. Leave a comment down below. What do you guys think? Like or dislike? Don't forget to press that subscribe button. I hope this tip, guide, whatever we call this, it helped you out. And I'll see you in the next video. All right? Thank you. Bye.